Hey guys, can everyone hear me? And give a little raise of the hand. I love this raise of the hand. All right. It's one of my favorite features of GoToWebinar. um, so I just want to say I am so psyched. I always I get really excited on these like webinar days or anytime that I can speak to health coaches, and especially about topics like this, like where to invest your money. Because I will tell you, I think that it can get really complicated. So one of the reasons that I did this webinar is because a coach actually asked me and said, you know what, Rach, it would be really awesome if you would do a webinar on where to invest your money. And I will tell you, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because this was one of those years where I was really trying to up level my own game. And I fell for like that shiny object. And I fell for people saying, I can help you in this way and I will give you the rainbow and gold at the end of, the rainbow. And I signed up for courses myself and luckily I don't have to buy programs. I have programs, but I am in similar situations as you. I'm on forums, I'm on Facebook. I go into different, places on the internet and I get that same feeling that you do, like, holy shit, that person has it all figured out, or oh my God, I'm losing out, or somebody's copy is really good on their sales page and it makes me feel like I'm going to possibly die if I don't go and buy that program or that course, or hire them as a coach, or a marketing person, or a Facebook ad person. So if I'm saying anything that is ringing true to you, if you tried to hire the Facebook person, which I did that and spent a crap load of money. And even my assistant, I don't even know if she's listening right now. I think she's taking care of one of her many babies. But I hired somebody and I had a heart attack when I got back a proposal, which was so off the mark. And then I tried to hire another person and they promised me roses and all of this stuff. And we spent just weeks and I was trying to explain myself and we were getting nowhere. And, that is part of being in business. I was a solo entrepreneur, meaning solo, running my business by myself for half of the time that I have been in business. So I've been in business in health and wellness for 6 years. And for half of that time, I didn't have a virtual assistant. I didn't have an assistant. I didn't even know they existed, which meant that I learned MailChimp, Dropbox, how to build websites. I didn't even know that places like Fiverr or Upwork, I didn't even know that there were people who wrote copy. I didn't even know what copy was. I didn't know any of it. My previous career, which was in commercial real estate, the internet was not what it is today. People didn't even need websites. And to be honest, when I graduated from nutrition school 6 years ago, it was not how it is now, even 6 years ago. And I think we've lost sight of that. And I want to say this loud and clear is that you just had to do. One of the biggest things that I heard in nutrition school was, okay, go and do a class, get people to your class, have people sign up, give them something. And everyone was in a do mode. You just had to do. I had a really shitty website. And I worked off of that shitty website for a good majority, probably about 2.5 years of my career, until I made my first investment in a website. And I had no idea even about branding, what branding was, that there even was a person to do branding. And I didn't even have any idea what my style was, to be honest. Um, Long story short is that I even back then had no idea where to invest my money. And luckily, I didn't have any money really to invest. But the short of the story is that I did. And what I see a lot of people not doing these days is doing. We get really caught up, myself included, um, in buying. We're like, I will go and hire this person to do this. I will go and hire this person to do that. And the truth is, yes. Are there some areas that get us stuck? Techie stuff? Yes, that can get us stuck, but you can learn it. Do sometimes editing stuff, can it be annoying, but we can learn it. Does sometimes learning Canva or PicMonkey or watching tutorials, can it be annoying, but we can learn it. So, you know, the truth is that I built my business because I, one, didn't want to quit, but two, I also had to because I didn't have the money to spend it in other areas. And most of you on this phone call tonight don't have that money either, or you want to know where to invest it wisely. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. You know, I am a health coach, I'm a detox specialist. I always say this doesn't mean I eat perfectly all the time. Some people do. I did that for many years and was perfectly insane. Um, Today, my life is about balance. It isn't always balanced, very honest on Facebook. Um, but I do believe that genes load the gun and environment pulls the trigger, and that we have a lot of disease and sickness, and that I believe when the body can work on its own and detoxify properly, that we see less of that junk in the world. And I've seen that really in the health of my own babies who came out from a pretty toxic mom. One who didn't even talk at the age of 3, and they both had a boatload of health issues, which I don't often talk about. And I've seen them go from being on so many different protocols to really living on probiotics and maybe a parasite cleanse once a month if needed. I'm a business coach. I don't have a 7-point system that you're going to go on. I become your business partner, and I hope that you fire me when you need to. Totally a proud mama. I'm a 6-figure business owner. And I say that not to say, wow, this is what I did or do, but because it is possible. And that's not just because I have the Done For You programs. If I didn't spend the amount of time that I do with the Done For You programs, I would do it in the group coaching, just like the other day when I emailed a local gym and I said, hey, are you going to, or do you want to do a weight loss challenge for the new year? And she said, yep. Do you want to do the same challenge that we do for the moms group that you helped me create? And I said, hell no. We were going to blast this with a different program, one of the programs that, I have, because I know that that program will also lead me to have more one-on-one clients. And a healthy longevity business as a health coach needs to have a balance of everything. It needs to have passive income, active income, group coaching, online, if you do want to dance in that online world, needs to have one-on-one clients from me. I love my one-on-one clients. It gives me my vitality, and I will never steer away from that. And it grounds me. And I'm also the creator of the Done For You programs. And that was really birthed because they are the same exact programs that I use in my business, and coaches asked me if I would sell them. And that's how they actually got created. So why are we here? We are here today because you are building a business and you want to know where the hell to put your money. You want to know how the hell to build your business without going broke. How the hell do you make enough money as a health coach without having to work your 9 to 5? And how the hell to do more of what you love without feeling insane in the membrane? And that, I think, is the biggest thing that I hear. So let's even just talk about that first. Where do you invest your money? So whether you're buying Done For You programs from me or anyone else, to be honest, Number one, really look to see if you need them. The biggest thing that I see on other coaches' sites, even on my own site right now, is what is that client experience? I ran a mastermind, a boot camp previously, and on Sunday we start group coaching, which I'm really excited about. I'll be running that probably almost every month, because I believe that without group coaching, without that mastermind, without planning effectively out our month, our semesters, we don't go anywhere. We have these, we buy, and then our shit just sits there on our computers, and then it doesn't launch, and then we buy the next thing, or we hire another coach. And I can't tell you how many times I get phone calls from coaches who say to me, well, my business coach told me I should do this. I'm like, why? And they're like, because they just told me. I'm like, but that doesn't make any sense. It has to make sense for you. So if it doesn't make sense to have 5 programs on your site, I want you to really think, what makes sense for my client experience? Does it make sense if you're listening right now, if you do a multi-level marketing, if you're with, Beachbody or Asana, or you do essential oils, and if that's your main focus, and I was just actually saying this to a coach yesterday who wants to break into coaching, but that really works for this coach. And I said, okay, that model works for you. So let's push this more. Let's make it, because you're such a great leader, this has to be more of your site. Doesn't mean you have to slap that all over your site and have that word or those words be everywhere, but take what actually works and make that be the foundation. So where should you invest your money? In a program that can highlight, or an opt-in freebies that can highlight the very things that you want your client, your sales funnel, to bring those potential people to. So if it's online programs, if it's one-on-one, if it's bringing them to a product, think, what is my opt-in freebie saying? What is the follow-up letter to that opt-in freebie bringing them to? Because so often we buy, and then we don't have follow-ups. We're not building that trust. So how do you build your business without going broke also? And this is why I go back to that. You can have programs. You can sign up for, other courses that are bringing you add value. Maybe you need to have, marketing templates. Maybe you need to have pictures. Maybe you need to hire somebody such as a virtual assistant to help you organize your social media. So really sit there and take this opportunity, or join, the group coaching that we're about to start on Sunday, where we're really planning out, where are those breaks in your system? And when I say breaks in your system, and it's what I actually did this week, where I took all of Wednesday to sit there and say, okay, I need to mastermind what worked for me this past year and what is not. So I want you to even think, okay, how do you build your business this year without going broke? Because if you're spending, but you're not using things effectively, really sit there and say, how can I use this effectively? Am I, buying programs? And I love when coaches buy buy the programs and they have PowerPoints. If you're not doing a webinar, take that PowerPoint and use it as a PDF, and use that as a free gift going out in a newsletter. Start thinking outside the box. And this is why we have to get into mastermind groups, so we can think outside the box, so we can use the very materials that we have. If you're sitting there on 20 pictures that are part of the program, or you're sitting there, part of one of the programs, or you're sitting there and saying, I have so much material, but I can't organize it, or I need a virtual assistant to help me, get that into Dropbox, don't go for a massage. Lessen your heat. I mean, I'm in Florida, so, I would actually have to lessen my air conditioner. Don't go to acupuncture. Don't spend something on that supplement that you actually want to buy, and say, you know what, this month I'm going to invest in my business. Whether you need to hire a coach, whether you need to join a mastermind group, like the one that we're about to do, whether you need to, spend the 20 to 30 bucks for a virtual assistant. Maybe your website needs an upgrade. A coach said to me the other day, well, my business coach said to me I should go get my website done. And I said, do you have the copy done first? And she said, no. And I said, well, why go get your website done first and then have the copy done after? That's going to cost you about $800 to have the website person redo it. So really start to think about how you're actually doing things. I always talk about, what is that healthy hustle? How much money do you need to make to actually quit that 9-to-5 job? So every time, because I support my family, I think everything that I put out, I don't think, oh, well, this other person is, outdoing me. Of course, do I have those thoughts? Yeah. But I sit there and I think, okay, if I sell a program for $99, or if I sign up somebody, how many people do I need to do? How often do I need to market? Do I need to do a cooking class in my house? How many people do I need to talk with to convert? How many people need to be on my list? How many opt-in freebies do I need to actually be circulating to get those people to sign up for those opt-in freebies? So you really need to start strategizing your health coaching business so that you are constantly having those flowing. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes, no, maybe so. So when you sit there and you don't have a system, then you don't have a plan. And so a lot of people, what I see business-wise, and even just take health and wellness out of this, when I was in real estate, every Monday we had a meeting. Every Friday we had a meeting. Because in the beginning of the week, you wanted to plan your week. And Friday, you wanted to pick up the mess of the week and get clear so that Saturday and Sunday, you knew exactly, you had goals set so that you could come in and slam Monday. Wednesday, you knew exactly what you needed to do so that you were reaching out to your potential prospects. And it's the same thing that happens when you're in health and wellness. No business owner, CEO, which you are, can make it without a system. You need to have that plan. You need to know what you're doing on Monday. So whether you're doing Monday marketing, you need to know Tuesday scheduling those health histories. Wednesday, what are you doing? Are you seeing clients that day? Are you doing shopping tours? Are you, what is actually happening for yourself on Wednesday? Are you doing, luncheon bunches? Are you doing, what are you actually doing throughout your day? Thursday, or are you doing your newsletters on Thursday? Are you doing your newsletters on Friday? What are the best times for you to actually, hit people? And are you really testing and surveying and looking at your statistics and studying? People always say to me, how have I gotten so good at understanding, either branding or understanding how to market? It's that I've studied each of these components consistently every day because it's that important. And then know Friday as your setup day. Because boom, coming in Monday, you don't want to have to play cleanup. The biggest thing that I see as the break in the system for most coaches is that you're not building that trust. So everyone's throwing out opt-in freebies. But what is your follow-up? If somebody comes and they sign up, what is that funnel? Not only the funnel for the free opt-in, because that free opt-in, how are they getting to a discovery session with you? That discovery session should lead them to that one-on-one coaching or to an online or offline program. So on your site, let me even just break for this and go for a second to my site. On your site, is it clear how to work with you? Is it clear what they can actually do, how they can shop with you. And again, this was only me figuring out exactly what needed to go and what needed to stay. Is it clear, again, in the different work with me, what is bringing you in money and what is not? So when we go back to your free offering, your discovery session, is it clear on your homepage, your opt-in? Is it clear who you are and what you do? And the different ways that they can work with you and how they can schedule a 15-minute session with you and where they can find you. Because if it's not clear, how are you going to get them to that one-on-one session? Your online or offline programs. Are you very clear on how also to combine those online programs? Every one of the programs that I have, people always say, they only see that I promoted detox. That's just because it's a foundational, easy program. But every one of these programs I have, I've created multiple programs at gyms, weight loss programs. I've created programs where there are 3 programs within one program. I've created moms programs. I've created multiple programs from all of these. And your job, so you stop wasting money in multiple places. And I'm not saying, and I'm even the one who creates programs, is to start thinking smart. So you're using what you have to build out your sales funnel so you can be more successful and leverage not only yourself, but your time. Because when you're leveraging, you're getting to these VIP days. You're getting exposure and visibility. You're masterminding. I was on the phone, actually, a coach who bought the detox. He called me and he wanted to do a 15-minute strategy session. And he said, I just don't even know what to do with the detox. And I started talking to him and I said, I don't think you even know your niche right now. It sounds like you need to do X, Y, and Z. It sounds like you actually need to plan out your next semester, your next month. I said, are you even running a challenge to lead to a webinar, to lead to a detox? Are you even building trust? And he was like, no. And I was like, do you even have like 3 different opt-in freebies going? He was like, no. I said, that would take a VA. If you invested in a VA, 3 hours to get those opt-in freebies into MailChimp. That is what I call the healthy hustle. Like knowing how to really utilize and outsource effectively so you're not wasting your time exhausting yourself in areas that take away from your magnificence. Now, I don't mind doing, MailChimp and stuff like that, but that's after I've learned it. Ask me about Infusionsoft, I'd throw up on myself because that's the system that we've moved to right now and I don't know it. And it's complicated and stuff like that. And that's how I felt in the beginning. So if something feels complicated and it's exhausting, taking away from your brilliance. But when you have these ultimate packages, when you can run 3-month programs or 2-month programs, you're packaging those programs, that's when all of a sudden you have an email funnel. The basics of an email funnel, maybe I can get this a little bigger even for you guys, is that you have an opt-in form. That opt-in form leads to a thank you page, a confirmation email, that confirmation page, and a welcome series. And that is everything. So the reason that the Den-Free programs always have like, a smoothie book and then it has a thank you, or the essential oil program, has, different freebies and it has a thank you, or anything has a thank you. And I encourage you to add thank yous to the thank you. And that's why in group coaching, we're going to talk about what is that email series? How do you lay out that program? And when I work one-on-one with somebody, I say, okay, let's talk about our emails. What day are you sending out an email? So that's why when some of you get my emails, you're like, geez, this girl stalks the shit out of me. And I was scared at one time to do that. But the one thing is you can't sell a program if you sell one email. You can't get people to sign up and want to work with you if you're not marketing them, and you can't run a business off of an email list that has 30 people. How many of you have 30 people? Or how many of you have a page? And it's funny, I have an email list of essential oil people, this is insane. I'll be honest with you. I've never emailed them. There's like 570 people on an email list because that page is good and I'm giving them a great opt-in freebie. And I've never emailed them. I'll email them because I'm putting together an essential oil program and and I'll sell them on that program and lead them to wanting to buy oils, but I've never emailed them. Now there's a follow-up, and I'm being honest with you because that's where the relationship trust building then lacks. So what I'm sharing with you is that's what masterminding does, is we start to look at the breaks in our system. So I want you even to think right now, where is the break in your system and what is important? It isn't just enough to just throw stuff on our site, because that's how we waste money. So how do we make money? You need, let me just highlight this. There should be in like 50. You need to have health histories, no matter what business you're in, meaning multi-level marketing, an architect, a hairstylist. You need to have people come to your chair. You need to build a book. But you need to have health histories because you want people to come to you. So when I do a health history, people find me. Why? Because I blog. So in the Healthy Hustle, what I teach people, especially when, if you want to even sign up for this group coaching, is that you have to know your system of what you're doing every day. People find me because I do videos. People find me because I blog. People find me because I consistently market on Facebook. Doesn't mean that has to be the avenue for you. But just like Gary Vee, who I listen to every day, if something's uncomfortable for you, get over it. Because the days of Facebook and social media are here. And if, my grandfather, who was a married into grandfather, but if he was 90, I can learn like the internet, so can anybody else. Because people go on Facebook. Facebook also has great search engine optimization. So if you have a Facebook business page, and if I can, have a coach who literally signed up with me last month, if I can have her on every platform and have her signed up for a Facebook business page and everything, I can have anybody do that in a month and literally have her almost half of her entire website built. Anybody can do this. And when you do health histories, and when I do health histories, I know that I have an entire system for them. So yes, do I personalize everything? 100%. But when somebody comes to me, I know that I have a vegetarian option for them, vegan, omnivore, paleo. I know that I have a detox and elimination diet. I know that what I specialize in. Doesn't mean that I niche myself into a corner. Sometimes we think that we have this one specific niche, and yet ironically, I work so great with guys. And I used to think it was, in the beginning of my career, it was working with, women who had emotional eating issues. God, that was quite the opposite of the people I needed to work with. So, but I have a system for people, and I have a system I believe in. And yes, it does come down to bioindividuality. But I want you, as you sit here tonight listening, to where are you spending your money? Where is the break in your system? Are you offering too much on your site that's confusing people? And that when you take somebody through a health history or you're talking to them, are you leading them to the water? Are you directing them to where you need to direct them? And is your opt-in freebie converting them into a sales funnel? Doesn't mean right away, but are you sending them something 3 days later? You're sending them something maybe 7 days later, 14 days later. Are you bringing those people onto your general list? Do you have that sales funnel that leads to one-on-one coaching or group coaching, cooking demos, or your MLM? Do you have different options for them? And if you don't know, that's totally okay, because I didn't know in the beginning either. And here I am even 6 years, into my business, and it is getting even, clearer and clearer. Some people are crystal clear from the beginning. Not everyone is. I think in so many different directions, and I have to try things out in order for me to get clear. And most people I found are actually that way. But most people give up and quit because something isn't working. So think about your niche, write down your niche, and write down those sub niches. The sub niches are the ones that I just talked about. I work with type A personality, high strung guys who don't stop for a hot New York second. And most of them have some kind of psoriasis, skin issue, autoimmune, you know, sexual dysfunction issue. And I help them to learn how to stop for a hot New York second, take care of themselves, and figure out meals that they can literally eat while they're in the car on the way to a business meeting. Get really crystal clear on what your people need. What messages do they need to hear, and how are you communicating those messages? I see all the time on Facebook, or even coaches say to me, Rachel, nobody signed up for my webinar. I'm like, and when I get to work with somebody one-on-one or in group coaching that's starting on Sunday, or when I've worked with people in Mastermind, I say, how are you communicating? That might not be the way that you need to communicate. Maybe you need to communicate in videos. You can't just post a picture. For me, and I'll give you an example, my community loves stories. My community does not just love when I post something and say, hey, sign up. Now, I've seen other coaches post and they'll say, sign up for my program. And there are like 70 people who like that, or they sign up. That's not how my community likes to be spoken to. Nor does my community like to be spoken to in newsletters that way. Many of the people I follow, Ramit, Danielle Delaporte, Nisha Moodley, they are storytellers. And that's who I love listening to. So really think about your people. Are you a fact teller? Are you a storyteller? Is it a combination of both? Do you need pictures, text? Think about how you communicate, because you deserve that kick-ass business. And so does 2016. 2015 for a lot of people was a year that many people want to put to rest. I don't know why. It was a kick-ass year astrology-wise for many people, and it was a year of, oh my God, I got to learn a lot of lessons, and now it's time to grow, thrive, and have massive kick-ass abundance. And so think what you want that business to look like, because it's totally about that attraction and mindset. You only get that high-paying client when, one, you believe it. My phone does not ring at all when I don't believe it. And I only was able to raise my prices when I believed it. But I only was able to raise my prices also when I had clarity of message, when I had programs that could feed to those clients that also saved me time, because I couldn't take on more clients if I didn't have programs that allowed me to say, no problem. Oh my God, here's my high-end client who is powerhouse, New York City, Wall Street lawyer who needs like totally almost like 3/4 raw meals, totally vegan. And I needed to be able and gut rebuilding. So I needed to be able to have those programs, and also needed recipe guides. They needed recipes for everything. I could not handle that person and the college kid and the other clients that I have. And yes, I do have a full client load. I couldn't be able to do that and also work with some people who I do life coaching with and their therapists if I didn't have programs and a consistent message and referrals and getting clear on those VIP programs for those people. So mastermind your funnel. And if you can't mastermind on your own, which I can't, even though my husband says I talk to myself a lot, I luckily have an amazing assistant who is my right hand chick who I mastermind a lot with. I even just this past week hired another person who I could mastermind with. I even have a great website master I get to mastermind with. We can't mastermind usually with ourselves. We get confused. It's often why people get writer's block. That's why blogging is hard for a lot of people. We get stuck in our own conversations. We can't see past our stuff. So get clear if you can, and if you can't, that's why you can join me on Sunday, which for $179 for a month and 4 calls, I don't know who shouldn't do that. And I, this year, am literally just saying shit like it is. I'm done with picking words. I'm done with worrying what people think about me. That was this past year. My higher ups hit me with everything known to man saying, grow the fuck up, Rachel, because it is time to let go of what others think of you. And if they don't like you, they're not going to like you. But I do believe that I have great value for giving other coaches what I have given myself, which is the ability to grind and hustle and intuitively learn how to listen to what my client needs. So we all need a system. And for me, that means having a group, coaches, everything, calendar, people to help you. And that is what I really think you need. So you have choices. And the question that I always ask myself, and yes, I do have a hubby that rocks. I even have kids that support me. My kids even say every day, manifest, manifest, but I've also taught them to do that. Is that you do need someone to support you, whether it is your hubby, whether it's somebody who believes in you, whether it's even an accountability, just friend. But I do think that everyone needs a gateway program. Whether you make it yourself, you need a list building strategy, and many, because your list builders are going to be the very things that give you insight and survey your people. I do believe that people love challenges. I think people love, even as business people, I sign up when I see, wow, list building challenge, visibility challenge, social media challenge. We love challenges. That's just who we are in the human psyche. So make sure that you're doing those kind of things, programs that you can use in multiple ways, business support. And our clients, no matter what they're doing, whether they're signing up for, MLM stuff from us, or they're signing up for programs, they want success, and it's the same thing that we want for our business. So option one that you can do with me, if you want to roll hard, this 2016, which I have big goals. I wrote them on my vision board. I wrote them out this week. I wrote them out a few months ago, is I'm doing group coaching. I'm doing this because everyone always asks me for it. And I really sat there and looked at this year and was like, what do coaches need? We buy a lot of programs, but we can't launch our programs. We can't even launch our businesses without coaching. And coaching one-on-one is not for everyone. Coaching in a group rocks. So I'm doing 4 calls. They're going to actually be screen share calls. They're going to be with Michelle. So Michelle helps me actually to do a lot of my editorial calendars. We're going to be doing launch plans, editorial calendars, social media calendars, buffer, Hootsuite, if you want to sign up for Meet Edgar, how to do blogging. It's all going to be in screen shares. And this is actually what I even do when I'm on Skype with clients. I'll screen share and show them, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, that's how you do a MailChimp list. So that's how every class is going to be. If you miss a class, what I'm asking people to do is literally to do it the next day. People have the option of even signing up and having a buddy. That's taking 10 minutes out of your life a day and checking in even with your buddy. A forum where we're going to close mastermind. You're going to have access to cheat sheets that I'm even working on as we speak. I have week 1 and week 2 done. Screen share videos that I'm going to do. And plus all those extra goodies that I'm going to be putting into the forum, as well as your membership access. Plus like different lists of extra stuff that I have on my desktop. And really this is just for people who are interested in a mastermind, interested in group accountability. And it's $1.79. I'm doing a payment plan too. So if you are short on cash because it's Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year's, and for me, I have 2 kids' birthdays, which mean 2 birthday parties and Hanukkah. It's a tight month, but I also know how much money I want to make, how much I need to make, and how many lives I want to change. And I also know also how to do that, and I also know how to teach that. So if this is something that you want to do, all you have to do actually is go right here, right to Rachel's Wellness. Oops, not to my blog, to shop. And you can go right to group coaching right there. Buy now, learn more, and you can see everything that you get. You get an editorial calendar, launch calendar. We're doing screen shares. We're also going to do copy. So Michelle is awesome at copy, even if you need extra copy, sales pages, tweets. She does so much of my copy, so much of my sales pages. I mean, she fudging rocks. So not only do you get me, you get frickin' her, which is sick. Then, option 2 is that, yes, if you do, and also teaching you like Canva and PicMonkey and all that kind of little stuff that I know for me has been just a huge game changer, because that's all the stuff that we're always trying to outsource to a designer. We're trying to outsource to everyone. And I think, I even hear coaches who say, how do you share a Dropbox? How do you share an individual? How do you hyperlink? I mean, it's all that little stuff that stops us. So that's something that you need, that you want. Group coaching is for you. And if you also want to be with a bunch of hustlers who are asking every question, how do I do this in my one-on-one coaching? How do I bring this? How do I approach somebody? What's a referral letter? Those are the questions. Ask and you shall receive. Option 2 is any of the Done For You programs. So if you want to get any of the Done For You programs, we're doing a holiday special, 15% off. I love the Done For You programs. I do. I think they rock. This is the winter collection. They're so pretty. The cool thing also is that this season I'll just show you. This season we did an essential oil builder as well. What I'm going to be doing is creating an essential oil program from that. So I'm going to do extra videos with it on how I use essential oils. I know it can get a little crazy compliance-wise with a lot of stuff. So that's why for me, I'm just going to throw in all these cool opt-in freebies and some PowerPoints in there and turn that into a program. And then my follow-up for that program will be, if somebody then does want to get oils, they can get it from that program. So that will be one of the programs that will actually be on my shop. And if that's something that you're interested in finding out more about, that would be a great thing for group coaching too, because what you'll see probably in the next month, which is on my plan, is under shop. Not only will you see sexy group coaching, but you'll see an essential oil program right there. So if you want to know how I'm going to rock that out, I can also break that down. And I think, for a lot of people who don't know how to combine their programs or don't know how to combine, whether it's my programs or any other programs that you've bought, which most of you probably, if and I've coached a lot of you, some I haven't, of course, but I've coached coaches who literally give me drop boxes and there are like 20 programs in there, 15 opt-in freebies, and they don't even know where to start. They, it's just like overload, not to mention the courses that they've taken. If that's you and you're just like, I don't know where to start, I'm spending so much money. I get it. I really, really get it. And that's why it's just time to stop the madness. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I've wanted to do group coaching for 3 years. I actually said it to my launch, to my first launch mentor, Anne Samiloff, who, bless her heart, she is one of the women who I most admire. Helped with Natalie Lucer, helped with Marie Forleo, her launches. And I told her 3 years ago this was my goal. And I said, that's it. This year I'm doing this because this is where I really feel that coaches need support. Her launch forum and her group coaching was a huge turning point for me. So that's where we get, that's where we really grow. So if you are ready to go to that next level, this is one of my walls. This is one of my 4 whiteboards. You can use this code DFY Winter 15 off. I'm taking this all the way to right before, the new year. It is winter. Everyone needs to save money. So you can totally save 15% on any of the programs. If you want to join group coaching and you don't even want to get a done for you program, or you don't have a done for you program, it's still for you. You still need to plan out your business. If you have a desire and you've been out of the game and you want to plan your business, that's why it is essential for you. So just to recap, where do you spend your money? You spend your money on areas that are taking you down. So whether it's a virtual assistant, whether it is, spending it on a program that is really going to up level your game, but make sure you have that follow up. And I'll just even go back to, that sales funnel right here, just so we can even end on this. Like the email sales funnel, make sure that you are creating that trust and building it, because you're not going to make money if you're not building that trust. You don't have that free offer leading to that discovery session. You don't have the emails with the welcome series. So does that make sense to everyone? Does anybody have a question for me before I go look at the Hanukkah candles? Can anybody? So if you have a question, I am totally reachable. You can hit me up, and let me just even put this on the end here. You can hit me up right here. I will. It's Rachel at Rachel's Wellness. That is my personal email. Feel free to email me any questions. You can also go to this site. You can actually, there's a little fill in a question and we get, any email that you have. And you can always, of course, find me on Facebook. So does anybody have a question, or are we good to go? Or am I not able to hear questions for some reason? All right. So again, Sunday we start group coaching. I'm hella excited, and I'll just show you right here in case. You go right to Rachel's Wellness. You go to shop, and then it will take you right to group coaching. And that is about it. So if you have any questions, email me tonight. Ask me And I will be sending out this recording. It was awesome to be with you guys. Like I said, if you're not going to join me, just plan your shit out. Plan it out. See what you need. Make sure you're communicating with your people effectively. Make sure that you're not spending money in places you don't need, and really, plan out your message. Plan it out clearly, and think about, what are those 5 problems that your community's having, and what are the 10 solutions. Today we sent out an email on 15 different subject lines, for copy. Because if you can't get people to open your emails with great subject lines, you're not going to be able to get people to sign up for your health histories or your programs or anything, or sign up for your webinars if they're not great subject lines. So that's where the copy is so essential, so important. Your marketing is so essential, everything. So it's just been an honor to be with you again. This is Rachel Feldman. Have an awesome night, and I will see you on the flip side. And hopefully I see you in group coaching. And if not, I will see you on the next webinar. Take it easy. Be true to yourself. Be true to your brand. Be true to your message. And go for it. 2016 is totally yours, and I believe in you guys. All right. Take it easy, guys. Bye.